Bullfighting, a spectacle steeped in tradition, often depicts a furious bull charging at a matador's red cape. This image has cemented a popular belief. Bulls are enraged by the color red. However, this notion is a misconception, a myth perpetuated over generations. Bulls, like many other mammals, do not perceive color in the same way humans do. Their reactions in the bullring are not triggered by the color red but by other stimuli. The bull's anger stems from a combination of factors, all rooted in its natural instincts and the manipulations of the bullfight itself. To understand the truth behind the myth, we must delve into the science of animal vision and the reality of bull behavior. We, with our human-centric view, tend to project our perceptions onto the creatures we share the planet with. This tendency to anthropomorphize can lead to misconceptions, such as the belief that bulls are enraged by red. To truly appreciate the natural world, we must strive to understand it on its own terms, through the lens of science and observation. To comprehend why bulls aren't seeing red in the literal sense, we need to examine their visual capabilities. Humans possess trichromatic vision, meaning our eyes have three types of color-sensitive cells or cones, allowing us to perceive a broad spectrum of colors. Bulls, on the other hand, belong to a group of mammals that have dichromatic vision. They have only two types of cones, limiting their color perception. Many mammals, including dogs, cats, and indeed bulls, share this form of color perception. Their world, though less vibrant than ours in terms of color variety, is no less rich or complex. They have adapted to their environment, relying on other senses and visual cues to navigate their surroundings. While they can distinguish between shades of blue and yellow, red appears as a shade of gray to them. The matador's cape, a vibrant red to our eyes, holds no special significance for the bull in terms of color. Its movement, however, is a different story. The anatomy of the bull's eye underscores the difference in their visual perception compared to humans. Their eyes, located on the sides of their head, provide a wider field of view, allowing them to detect movement over a broader area. This panoramic vision is crucial for prey animals like bulls, enabling them to spot potential predators approaching from various angles. While their peripheral vision is excellent, their depth perception is not as developed as ours. Humans, with our forward-facing eyes, have a narrower field of view but superior depth perception. For bulls, the emphasis is on detecting movement, not on judging precise distances. Their survival depends on their ability to react quickly to potential threats, and their visual system has evolved to prioritize this need. The differences in color perception and visual field between bulls and humans highlight the diversity of sensory adaptations in the animal kingdom. Each species has evolved to perceive the world in a way that best suits its survival needs. The bull's reaction to the matador's cape cannot be attributed to the color red, but rather to the cape's movement and the bull's instinctive responses. The persistent myth of bulls charging at red stems from a misunderstanding of their visual capabilities. The color itself holds no particular significance for them. Instead, it is the movement of the cape, its swirling and flapping, that triggers a response. Bulls, like many prey animals, are instinctively wary of movement. It signals a potential threat, triggering their fight or flight response. The matador's cape, regardless of its color, becomes an object of attention simply because it moves. The bull's reaction is not a product of rage or anger towards a specific color, but rather a natural response to perceived danger. The matador, through a series of movements and manipulations, exploits these instincts, creating the spectacle of the bullfight. The myth of the red rage likely arose from the traditional use of red in bullfighting. However, the bull's behavior is not governed by a simple aversion to a specific color, but by a complex interplay of biological factors and learned responses. The matador's cape, while not inherently threatening due to its color, becomes so through its movement. The swirling and flapping of the fabric mimic the movements of a predator, triggering the bull's innate fear response. This response is further amplified by the confined environment of the bullring. Trapped and unable to escape, the bull's stress levels rise, heightening its reactivity to any perceived threat. The cape, with its unpredictable movements, becomes a focal point for the bull's fear and aggression. In addition to movement, other factors contribute to the bull's behavior in the ring. The crowd's noise, the matador's taunts, and even the smells of the arena all play a role in creating a stressful and disorienting environment for the animal. These factors, combined with the bull's natural instincts, contribute to its heightened state of arousal and its aggressive displays. Bulls, in their natural environment, are generally docile creatures. Their aggression in the bullring is a product of the artificial and stressful conditions they are subjected to. Outside the context of bullfighting, bulls exhibit complex behaviors that further challenge the myth of red rage. In their natural environment, they are social animals, living in herds with defined hierarchies and social structures. They communicate through a variety of vocalizations, body language, and even scent marking. Their interactions within the herd are governed by a complex set of rules and rituals, demonstrating a level of intelligence and social awareness often overlooked. Bulls, like many domesticated animals, have been bred for specific traits over generations. Their temperament, size, and even their reactions to stimuli have been shaped by human intervention. In a natural setting, without the manipulations of the bullfight, bulls exhibit a wide range of behaviors, from playful interactions to protective instincts towards their young. Their behavior, like that of all animals, is a product of both nature and nurture. The myth of the red rage not only misrepresents their visual capabilities, but also simplifies the complexity of their behavior. To truly understand these creatures, we must look beyond the stereotypes and appreciate them as individuals with their own unique personalities and behavioral patterns. Bullfighting, despite the controversy surrounding it, holds a significant place in the cultural heritage of many countries. It is seen as a tradition passed down through generations, a symbol of courage, skill, and the age-old struggle between man and beast. The spectacle of the bullfight, with its elaborate costumes, rituals, and dramatic tension, has captivated audiences for centuries, inspiring art, literature, and music. Its roots run deep, woven into the fabric of these cultures, representing a connection to their history and traditions. For many enthusiasts, bullfighting is not merely entertainment but an art form, a ballet of danger and grace. They argue that it is a test of courage and skill, a display of the matador's mastery over the bull's raw power. The bullfight, in this context, becomes a metaphor for the human condition, a symbolic representation of our own mortality and the struggle to overcome adversity. The matador, facing death in the ring, embodies courage and the triumph of human spirit. However, the cultural significance of bullfighting does not negate the ethical concerns surrounding it. The debate surrounding bullfighting reflects a broader societal shift towards a more compassionate and ethical treatment of animals. The ethical debate surrounding bullfighting centers around the welfare of the bull. Critics argue that the entire spectacle is based on the suffering and eventual death of an animal for human amusement. The bull is subjected to stress, fear, and pain, culminating in a ritualized killing that many consider cruel and unnecessary. They argue that traditions, however deeply rooted, should not be exempt from ethical considerations. Proponents of bullfighting often counter these arguments by highlighting the cultural significance of the tradition and the economic benefits it brings to local communities. They argue that bullfighting is deeply ingrained in their cultural identity and that banning it would be akin to erasing a part of their heritage. Furthermore, they emphasize the economic impact of bullfighting, particularly in rural areas where it provides employment opportunities and supports local businesses. The debate surrounding bullfighting is complex and emotionally charged, with valid arguments on both sides. It reflects a broader societal struggle to balance cultural traditions with evolving ethical standards. The future of bullfighting remains uncertain, caught between the forces of tradition, economic interests, and a growing awareness of animal welfare concerns. The welfare of the bull during a bullfight is a major point of contention. Animal welfare organizations and activists have documented the physical and psychological toll the bullfight takes on the animal. From the moment it enters the ring, the bull is subjected to a series of stressful and painful experiences. The use of lances, banderillas, barbed darts, and the final sword thrust inflict significant pain and injury, leading to a slow and agonizing death for the animal. The argument that bullfighting is a fair fight between man and beast does not hold up under scrutiny. The bull enters the ring disadvantaged, weakened by deliberate tactics employed beforehand to make it less resistant. These practices, often hidden from public view, further emphasize the cruelty inherent in the spectacle. The bullfight, far from being a test of skill and courage, becomes a display of dominance over a creature deliberately disadvantaged and subjected to unnecessary suffering. The growing awareness of animal welfare issues has led to increased scrutiny of bullfighting practices. Veterinary professionals and animal behaviorists have documented the physiological and psychological effects of stress, fear, and pain on bulls. The myth of the red rage, while seemingly harmless on the surface, perpetuates a misunderstanding of animal behavior and reinforces stereotypes that can have real-world consequences. It trivializes the complex sensory experiences of animals, reducing them to simplistic caricatures. This lack of understanding can hinder conservation efforts and impede our ability to coexist harmoniously with the natural world. By challenging these misconceptions and promoting accurate information about animal behavior, we can foster a greater appreciation for the diversity and wonder of the animal kingdom. The bull, often portrayed as an aggressive and enraged beast, is but one example of an animal whose behavior is often misunderstood. By looking beyond the stereotypes and delving into the science of animal cognition and behavior, we can develop a more nuanced and compassionate understanding of the creatures we share the planet with. Education and awareness are key to dispelling myths and promoting a more informed and respectful relationship between humans and the natural world. Challenging misconceptions about animals, including the myth of the red rage, is not about demonizing cultural traditions or imposing a particular viewpoint. It is about fostering a deeper understanding of the natural world and promoting a more ethical and compassionate approach to our interactions with other living creatures. By acknowledging the sentience and inherent worth of animals, we can strive towards a future where our relationship with the natural world is characterized by respect, understanding, and a commitment to coexistence. The myth of the red rage, though enduring, crumbles under scientific scrutiny. Bulls do not charge at red because they dislike the color. They react to the movement of the cape, a response rooted in instinct and amplified by the stressful conditions of the bullfight. This revelation invites us to look beyond the surface and engage with the complexities of animal behavior, cultural traditions, and ethical considerations. The bullfight, in all its drama and controversy, becomes a lens through which we can examine our relationship with the natural world and the ethical dilemmas it presents. Understanding the truth about bulls and their perception of color allows us to appreciate the diversity of sensory adaptations in the animal kingdom. It reminds us that our human-centric view is but one perspective, and that other creatures perceive the world in ways vastly different from our own. This realization should foster a sense of humility and a desire to learn more about the creatures we share the planet with. By dispelling myths and embracing scientific understanding, we can move towards a more informed and compassionate relationship with the natural world. The debate surrounding bullfighting is unlikely to be resolved easily. However, by engaging in open and respectful dialogue, by acknowledging the validity of different perspectives, and by prioritizing the welfare of the animals involved, we can strive towards a future where our interactions with the natural world are characterized by compassion, understanding, and a commitment to coexistence.